Hey, I'm Joshua Phillips with Churchill Mortgage, and today's interview is with my good friend Beau West, who did a renovation on our homes and many renovations in our area, in the Nashville area. His company's called Montcalm. Hope you enjoy. Well, I'm here with my good friend Beau West today, and Beau is not only a longtime friend of ours, but he's also the guy that renovated our personal home, the home that we're sitting in right now. And here in a little bit, we're going to walk around and show you a little bit of Beau's work. But I have to say that everybody that comes to our home immediately walks in the door and goes, "Well, this looks amazing." And I always have to say, "Hey, it wasn't us. It was Beau." And Beau has a company called Montcalm. They're on his hat, and I wanted to talk with him a little bit today, get to know what he does, a little bit of his history, and then we'll kind of talk about renovating homes. So, tell us how you got into renovating homes.
Well, I moved here in 2005. I moved here for music, and I had a background in construction. I needed to make some money. Music wasn't
Paying the bills.
paying the bills at all. So I started with structural concrete, moved into trim, and then started my own business out of that trim carpentry business, doing my own custom cabinetry, smaller renovations, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And soon found that I was a great carpenter and a terrible businessman.
Okay.
And I needed to get good at that. I was running myself ragged, and then kept climbing the ladder, doing that and staying busy. But in 2008, when everything went kaput, I actually got some of my best commercial jobs during that time, 8, 9, and 10. Mm-hmm. Went to work for a few other guys and realized that I was getting all the stress without the paycheck at that point. So I thought the grass was greener. And so decided to start Montcalm. Let's see, it was 2016 I started Montcalm.
Okay.
I think me and you met in 15.
Somewhere around there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then now we've been almost doing GC work for
GC General
Contracting. Sorry, General Contracting for almost 10 years.
Awesome.
So,
awesome. Yeah. So where do you primarily do projects, or it's just all over the place?
It can be all over the place. At first we kind of had to take what we could get. We love doing in the primary areas. We just got done building one in Oak Hill, and then we're working in Franklin a lot right now. And then we've done a lot in East Nashville. There's nothing going on right now over there for us. And then Nashville.
Gotcha.
And so Brentwood.
Gotcha.
And surrounding areas.
Well, it certainly seems like we're in the right area for renovations.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's this way all over the country, but certainly here in the greater Nashville area, it feels like I walk around and there's just homes everywhere that are being renovated, or some of them being torn down and new homes being rebuilt. So it's a great time to be doing renovations.
Definitely. I mean, we're staying busy. It can fluctuate, but for Nashville, it's been pretty steady.
Yeah.
I mean, it was crazy there for a while, getting phone calls every day. Now it's kind of gone back to seasonal. Second week in January, I usually get blown up to start the
people start thinking
circus.
about what they want their house to look like this year.
Exactly.
Well, so if somebody's thinking about renovating, and anybody that's owned a home for several years is probably thinking about, well, gee, I'd love to get this improved, that improved. We need a better kitchen, bath. Like, what do you see is most common? What do you think is most valuable to renovate?
I mean, bathrooms and kitchens are kind of the
main thing.
Yeah, the go-to things. And we do some of those. We're getting to the point where I don't mind filling in the gaps with small jobs, and I'm getting to the point where I'm caught in between a little bit, like building new homes and doing major renovations. But if it gets to the point where we can fit you in for a bathroom or a kitchen, sometimes those are great because they're usually you can quarantine it to one area. You don't have to do the entire house when you do a bathroom or a kitchen. Yeah. And if people want to do it in phases, just have their kitchen torn up for a while and get it back together, then it's better.
Exactly. Well, when you walk in a house, so you walked into our house before we bought it. So we were thinking about buying this home that we're in right now,
Yep.
and it was quite ugly. We'll show some pictures as we go, but our house was not attractive at all. And which gave us a great price on the house. But you walked in the door with us, and honestly, you're the one that really had the vision to see, oh man, we can do a lot. I think you said something like, I can make this look awesome.
Yeah.
And what is it how is it you look at a house? Like, what do you see that gives you the vision for it?
I used to get caught up in the weeds a little bit. I used to look past the emotions of husband and wife with their first home, or a couple of looking at their first home, or an individual. So I used to go into like expanded blueprints in my head, so I can kind of tear it apart in my head and then put it back together. And I used to get way off on tangents about the specifics and the ins and outs. And now I just kind of follow the emotional track, because that's where a lot of people go down. When I go into a house like with you guys, I remember Amy just kept saying, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah.
And for me, I think at one point, I said, I'll buy it if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
And renovate it, because, you have a great view. You had all the elements there. And I think what's tough is getting people to see it. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I really try to say, hey, picture this opened up, or an island here, and try to picture it. And it usually doesn't come until we get someone to do plans or renderings.
Yeah.
But if people trust the process, I usually can make it, and a lot of people have seen my before and after pictures. So they're like, okay, I trust that.
Yeah.
Because I can see it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. And you've done some amazing renovations, and I think just some things we had seen on the on social media and stuff obviously gave some confidence. Being our friend gave us some confidence, but yeah, we may be a little bit unique in the fact that we just kind of came in and was like, Beau, we trust you. We never even really looked at much plans and specs. We just make it awesome. Let's go.
Right.
And you did an amazing job. And I believe that if someone wants to use you, they're in great hands. I think you're also an honest person. It's an industry where there's, maybe not always the best characters in the business, but believe you to be a man of character, and always trying to do the honest, best work you can for someone.
Thank you.
Just a compliment on that. Well, let me just add a note about financing, just from my side of things. Because that's obviously part of the conversation. These renovations can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars if you're renovating a house. So it can be daunting. Some people here in this area just have tons of cash, but, we can do things like a home equity line of credit. If you already own a home, a lot of people have a lot of equity, and we can do a home equity line of credit to tap into several $100,000 of your equity. Or we could even do a renovation loan on the purchase. So if you find a home and you want to bring in Beau to kind of give you an idea, and we can work through what it's going to cost to renovate it, we can work in the renovation cost into the purchase of the home.
That's awesome.
You've probably seen all those things in play.
We've worked with it before, and HELOCs, we've had experience with them, and I don't really have any problems with that. With some bank loans, it can get tricky, but if we know all the information up front, and sometimes I have to fill out applications with the
Sure. I know if we're doing like a new construction loan with the builder, they have to be qualified as the builder as well. So I'm sure sometimes that comes into play, and that's just part of what you do as part of the process. Obviously, the lender wants to make sure it's a good investment, and
very much
as well, because
they
frankly have a big investment in the property.
They got a stake in it.
Anyway, well, we're gonna pause here, and we're gonna walk around our house. I want to show off just some of Beau's work and give you an idea of. We'll show you some old pictures and some video of what our house looks like now, and that'll give you a little bit of idea of the work that Beau does. Again, I think he does excellent work, and totally believe you can trust him with your renovation needs. I am here with Beau West. We've been talking here for a little bit, and I wanted to take you around our house. As I've mentioned, Beau renovated our house, did an amazing job, but we're here in the entryway of our house, and as you walk in, as I always say, people walk in the door, and they always go, wow, this looks amazing. So let's come on in here. So, I mean, yeah, talk about, like, yeah, what all did you do in this room?
In this room, we replaced the light fixtures, and we replaced that whole window, the big window, and we added the transom window up top because it seemed like it needed more light. I needed more window up top. Also, we put in the tongue and groove ceiling. It was already vaulted, but we made sure it was structurally sound. We put in the tongue and groove ceiling, changed the lights. I think, yeah, Johnny built the bookcase over there.
Yeah, that was not a bookcase there,
Yep.
and the fireplace looks nothing like
it had these weird brick arch things that went up and around. We gutted that all off, stitched some of the brick in, and did that, and then refinished the floor. The floors were existing in this room.
Yeah.
The rest of the house was all tile.
Yeah, exactly. It was a lot of tile.
Which was super fun to demo.
Yeah. So now let's come over this direction here. So and this was all new. One of your guys custom built this.
Again, John
shelving
MacArthur
for us.
that works for Montcalm Construction. He did all the custom bookcases and did all the lights in it. And, this room used to have a hallway.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest changes. Is there was a hallway right here.
Yeah, and it used to have a window here that used to be the outside of the house over there.
Yeah.
So it used to have a window where the TV was, and when we reframed everything, we opened up that whole hallway, made this all one big room, and then on into the kitchen.
Yeah, yeah. Now the kitchen, of course, is where you're going to definitely see again if you show some
the before
old
and
pictures.
afters
It's just not that you just ripped it all out and started from scratch. Yeah.
The sink was over here in this weird cabinet.
Yeah.
There was this weird like 3-sided island.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, I don't even remember which way it faced.
Yeah.
And then there was a strange like window seat that
right
looked over here.
Yeah.
And
all really dark wood.
All really dark wood.
Yeah.
All really, again, all tile floors, dark, weird paint. I don't remember, but had all the custom cabinets done, custom, all the lights.
We got put in new lighting.
Open this up.
This area right here completely was redone.
Yep.
So
none of that was there. Did like a butler's pantry or a extra.
Yeah, and then I remember one of the main things you want to do is we go out into the sunroom. There was a sunroom here and a deck, but we ended up completely tearing those out, and probably spent a year renovating. The first 6 months we're renovating all of this.
Yep.
And then the next 6 months we're renovating and
you guys
tearing it down.
You guys moved in.
We moved in after the first 6 months.
Yeah, and then we started this.
You started working on that, and I think one of the things you talked about was raising. Putting in more windows and raising the line of sight because we actually have a view of downtown. So, which is beautiful at night. And so he wanted to raise everything up so that from the kitchen you could actually see downtown. Of course, as we move in here, just basically all this is just new. So just like a new build.
It was one of those like pop-up sunrooms. I remember how loud it was when it rained.
Yeah, it had a terribly cheap sunroom to it.
Yeah.
And we ended up just deciding just to tear it all down and start over. And you built a fireplace out here and fans and beautiful.
It was definitely a big renovation.
A big renovation.
Yeah, big renovation.
Partly like building a new home.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but as I mentioned in the first part of the video, I mean, people come to our house, absolutely love it. And it is beautiful. We love living here, love your work.
Thank you.
As I said early in the video, I mean, partly I want to just promote Beau and his business here in the Nashville area. But if you're looking to renovate, I think Beau does an excellent job. Not only just of actually doing the work, but of having the vision to put it all together and make it beautiful. So
renovations, custom builds, we do it.
Yeah,
pretty much do it all.
Cool. I mean, feel free to, if you want to reach out to Beau, I'll put his contact information maybe in the comments.
Yep.
Feel free to comment yourself or reach out to me, DM me, or Beau, if you know Beau West
Yep.
with Montcalm, you can always look him up. Here to help and make your dreams come true, whatever your dream is for
Yep.
a home. So,
Thank you.